It's one thing to wait for hours in the heat, in the elements. Some people doing that. I know some of you don't like the word that describes what that is. Maybe the sound is no better. All to see Donald Trump. That's one thing, okay? And some supporters clearly are willing to do that. And then some of them leave very quickly, but they do that for Trump. Some of them maybe wouldn't be willing to do that if they knew that what happened in Coachella, California over the weekend at a Trump rally could happen to them, which is after going through all of that, they were abandoned. What? I'll show you videos, but first, the New Republic reports. Trump's Coachella rally went about as well as you'd expect. Donald Trump supporters were left stranded in the desert for hours. And while, of course, I acknowledge Trump himself is not making logistical decisions about when buses pick up and how many buses will take people back from. To me, this is representative of a very Trumpian thing, which is, again, I get that it's not exactly this specifically playing out, but it feels like it represents what Trump embodies, which is he used his supporters to cheer for him, and then he abandoned them. Just like how he'll money out of them, and then doesn't actually work in their interest. And continue with this article. Thousands of Donald Trump supporters reportedly found themselves stranded Saturday night after the former president's rally in Coachella, California. Attendees were bused roughly 5 miles from parking to the venue at Calhoun Ranch, where Trump delivered a rambling 80-minute speech in scorching desert heat, during which several attendees required emergency medical attention. And it summarizes, we've talked about Trump's Coachella speech already, so I won't give you these summarizations, but someone said this isn't normal in a video on X. Apparently the buses are no longer coming, or at least there used to be like 20 buses when we were being brought here. But now there's only like 3 buses operating, and it's just chaos, absolute chaos. All of us are stranded here. Everyone's stranded here. Let's see if we can watch this.
This isn't normal. Apparently the buses are no longer coming, or at least there used to be like 20 buses when we were.
If I had known that he would say the exact words that I just read to you, I wouldn't have read them to you, but here's more footage. And of course it's not loading because it's X. That's unfortunate. But you can sort of see the sights and the sounds. I'll play more for you while we continue this discussion. Please do remember to click that subscribe button as we're trying to do the final dash to 1 million subscribers. I also want to make a quick political point before going further about the whole bus situation. It's been MAGA saying that clearly Kamala Harris doesn't actually have support because supporters are being, quote unquote, bussed into her rallies. The theory, I don't even know what the theory is. I don't know how your brain doesn't immediately connect the dots and go, the reason there's buses being driven to Harris's rallies is because sometimes these venues don't have a lot of parking around them. So you get people to go park at a better spot so that you don't have cars like at some of the rallies I've been to for Trump lining down the road, blocking traffic, causing the grass to be ruined, etc. You can designate a parking area, bus people from the parking area to the venue. That was in MAGA minds for a while proof of how Harris's support is fake. But before getting to how this connects to the Coachella thing, how does that even make sense? I don't know. What are these fake people? If they come out of a bus, they're not real supporters? Or they have to be bussed in from other areas because in that area she doesn't have support? I didn't actually understand the theory. But now, are you not noticing that y'all were bussed in? Because sometimes it's a better option to park somewhere and then bus your way in. Fine. Okay. Wesley Johnson says, was just told by a bystander that the sheriff said there's only 1 bus in rotation and turnaround time each drop off is 30 minutes. These poor people are going to be stranded here early into tomorrow morning. And while I disagree with these people politically a ton, I don't wish this on them. And I'm sorry that this happened. Everyone's stranded. tagging JD Vance. A lot of people were upset with Trump himself. And you'll see a sentiment of, lol, this is funny that it happened. I don't think so.
Gas. They had no gas. They had to, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can't imagine how many people are still.
There's so many people still here.
I know. I'm trying to get people to come back.
Really unfortunate, and it's just proof of the logistical nightmare that some of these can be. And I do have now the footage that previously went out on us. Let's see if this is interesting at all.
There's supposed to be like 20 buses here, and there's only one. Everyone's starting to freak out. And there's people that go down this street.
And to imagine Trump, and we will make America and make America great again. Goodbye, fly out. And then they're stranded. That's a crazy representation of how he really feels about them. And I don't want to show this, but there were videos also being shared around of people at this event just, like I said, blah, everywhere, and medical emergencies, and just a real disaster, which sometimes happens at these sorts of outdoor hot events. But it seems, and this may just be my own bias, but it seems like the Trump world doesn't handle these as well, doesn't prepare for these as well as what we've seen from Harris when she's been in hot environments. But that's not backed up by a ton of evidence, just a gut thing, I'm willing to admit. Then you have a TikToker saying this.
Let me make sure I understand this. Donald Trump held a rally in Coachella in California, and it was on this farm, this private venue, and had 20 buses bus thousands of people in, okay? Anywhere from 4 to 6 miles away from where they were parked, and they made them sit there in the heat and listen to his same old word salad, and then left them there. Apparently there was like one bus. Apparently the buses just didn't come. Look at this.
Guys, we came to the Trump rally, and this is the aftermath.
This is at 10 o'clock. It ended at 7.
And I heard some people saying that this was because Trump didn't... Okay, wait, let me pause. I need y'all to know, I'm having a good day, so my giggles aren't representative of me not understanding how inconvenient and a struggle this was for the people involved. And I do extend my sympathy even to those who would never extend it to me. But some people were saying that the reason the buses didn't come back is because Trump didn't pay the buses. Which I don't think is accurate. I haven't seen any evidence to support that claim. But given Trump's track record of not paying people, some people just threw that into it for no reason. As of now, maybe that eventually will be ruled. But again, we have to be evidential in our claims here, and I haven't seen anything compelling on that front. So I apologize that this happened to Trump supporters. All I would say is you don't need this. You don't need this in your life. It's like a toxic boyfriend. He's gonna strand you in a desert, leave you stranded in a desert. You know how toxic boyfriends do with no transportation. I don't know. Weak analogy there. But just break up with him. It's fine. We are having a ball over on this side. We're not gonna leave you stranded anywhere. Leave Trump for good. You don't need this in your life. You don't need this toxicity, this push and pull. You were on top of the world and then you hit rock bottom all in the course of a few hours. He said something about transgender people and you went, yeah, and you thought this can't get better. He loves me. He sees me. And then he left and ghosted you. And now you're sad. And you don't need that emotional roller coaster. So break up with Trump, please. And don't subject yourself to this any more, because Because while I'm not saying anyone deserves anything. I want people to be able to go to political rallies they want to go to and not have any threats of violence or any logistical nightmares like this, even if it's a rally I really dislike. But metaphorically, choosing someone like Trump to devote your loyalty to will metaphorically leave you stranded in a desert. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Support the show. Get the bonus show by clicking the join button below.